And here we go.
Suggs for the win! Oh, yes! Oh, yes!
Jesperson, half-court lead for the win!
Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship!
And the next stop on the Purdue Redemption Tour is the Final Four!
Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of the D1 and Done podcast. We are proudly sponsored by the official Mountain West correspondent, the official SEC correspondent, and the benefactors of the podcast, the Hagen Hall Boys. You can follow us on social media. I do not have all our socials. I'm sure our great producer will provide that somewhere in the links.
In the bottom left corner of the screen right now.
In the bottom left. I'm not sure where I have to point because we're mirrored and stuff. Somewhere, one of these corners below, you can find our social medias. I do know this. You can email us at the d1anddonepod@gmail.com. Any questions, concerns, maybe you can get something off your chest. We can be your therapist at times.
Requests.
So, yes, anything at all. Please email us again at d1anddonepod@gmail.com. Leave us a like, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and leave us this does not make sense. Leave a review and rate 5 stars. That's not good English. Is that good?
Leave a review. Yeah.
And rate 5 stars.
You're good.
That works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So please do that. Maybe rate 4 stars after that intro. Which, speaking of the intro, you can watch me read off a script on our YouTube channel now. We are now on YouTube because of our great producer, Jake. Season 3, we had to add something new. And speaking of things new, if you're an old friend or maybe, new to the podcast, this is my second time hosting the pod and the second time overall because I was not the host the first 2 years. I am Nick Mills, and our former host is joining us remotely, Robbie Donahoe. Thank you for joining us again, Mr. Robbie. How we doing, sir?
Nick, it's a pleasure. As many say, you always remember your second time. So that's great to be able to get that out there. But good to be back with all of you.
Can you dive deeper into that second time?
The second time, no, I don't think that's appropriate for people to know that about my life. So
I thought you told Season 1, Episode 2. I think you did a great job. Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to. It was an inappropriate episode that we did that day. So you shouldn't go back and listen to that. But I'm doing great.
And speaking of the guy who just commented it to my, I think, right on the camera or left, the guy in the Astro sweater is former D1 basketball player at the University of Kentucky and Ball State. Is Dusty Mills, my brother. Hello, Dustin. Welcome.
Hello.
And on camera, joining us is our producer, another Mills, my other brother, Jake. Hi, Jake. Thanks for producing and joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you as well. Again, we're still in preseason mode here. We're going to have a very, I think, lighter episode. We have our preview coming up shortly. We are less than 2 weeks away from the season, but we are going to hit on some things from, I think it's been about 3 weeks since the last podcast. So hit on some things before we get there. Before we start our show, anyone got anything to say, anything off their chest? Anyone? The floor is yours. Anyone?
Wow. Really opening up the floodgates here, huh?
I do actually. Robbie, you want to go first or me?
I'll let you go first. It was your birthday yesterday. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much. My birthday was yesterday. Turned 37. The elder of the group right here. We're in a new environment. We're in the loft of my house, actually. So if Jake will move the camera up a little bit, there's 2 pictures I want to point out.
Oh, yes.
This is very smart. Yeah, show them is this our...
Which one?
Well, one is a picture of me and Eric Gordon. And that's me defending him.
Oh, nice.
In the sectional championship, or semifinals, actually, my senior year, when we were ranked 3rd in the state, they were ranked 1st in the state. So a great picture there. I was going to show we have Joakim Noah here doing the Gator Chomp when they won in 2006. Above that is the Rockets when they won 94. Top left is MJ, the shot we all love. Tiger at the bottom. That has to be when he won came back and won the Masters, right?
He looks like the 2019 Masters.
Yeah, 2019 Masters.
It's hard to tell. He's always the Sunday Red.
But the whole reason I want to point this out, and we have another great picture with Palmer, Nicholas, and Tiger right here. But I just wanted to say RIP. It says established 1966. Rest in peace to my Miami Dolphins.
Not a good season.
Rest in peace would be the least to say.
That's the entire purpose of the entire thing. And
Thanks for doing that. I didn't think about we've had 2 episodes this season in 2 different locations. So we're kind of like the traveling circus at this point.
We're under the same roof. We're moving around to figure out what our best scenery is.
And then isn't our hopeful permanent studio in the basement here?
Correct.
So we're trying to hit every level in Dusty's house. So I like that.
It's just like driving around Indianapolis. Construction takes a little longer than planning.
We're working hard though. Don't worry about that.
Waiting for those state grants.
So watch this transition. Speaking of construction and planning things, recently, I believe the AP preseason polls came out since we last talked, and the preseason All-Americans, I believe the first 2 teams, or the 3 teams we got. Does anyone know?
I thought it was 3, but I know definitely 1 team at least.
Yeah, I at least know the first. So yeah, we're just going to jump right in there. For the record, full transparency, again, we're trying to be transparent here in the D1 Done podcast. I've not seen these yet. Have you guys seen these All-American lists or preseason polls?
Yes, 3 teams.
So
I saw the AP preseason team, and I've seen the rankings, so yes.
Dusty, have you seen these at all?
I have.
Okay, so I'm the only one who's going to get this fresh off. So, producer Jake, what do you have there? You have the All-American teams?
Yeah, we'll start with you want to start with the first team?
Yeah, why not?
First team All-American preseason starts with the one and only Braden Smith out of Purdue, Donovan Dent at UCLA, PJ Haggerty, Kansas State, JT Toppin, Texas Tech, and Yaxel Lindenborg. I always pronounce it wrong.
Good enough for me.
Laxel. We're going with Laxel. That finals up your first team preseason. Again, these are according to ESPN.com. So take that with what you may. Second team starts with AJ DeBansa. Boy, did he look good in their first
we'll get to that later.
Scrimmage. Followed by freshman Darren Peterson at Kansas, another freshman Cameron Boozer at Duke, Otega Owe at Kentucky, and another freshman, Nate Ament,
I believe.
Tennessee, right?
At Tennessee. Followed by third team, we got Darian Williams at NC State, Manuel Sharp Houston, Alex Condon Florida, Trey Kaufman-Wren at Purdue, and Tahad Pettiford at Auburn. That will final up our first, second, and third team preseason All-American teams. And this article actually is written by Jay Billis.
Real quick before I throw it to you, Robbie, is Pettiford, did he announce, is he officially staying at Auburn?
They all are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
None of them pulled out. Now, granted, is he going to be suspended? Who knows? He did get a, DUI 6 weeks ago.
I was not laughing. I did not know that. So swift transition. Robbie, you saw All-American teams release Summit beforehand. Any initial thoughts or anything? Sure.
What's interesting is, so those are ESPN's preseason All-Americans. The AP came out with their preseason All-American list, which I thought was one of the dumbest preseason All-American teams I think I've ever seen, because it included Alex Condon on the first team All-American list.
First team?
He was first team preseason. Alex Condon, the guy that was a no-show in the Final Four. Please tell me why. Yeah, I don't care. But please tell me why that guy is better than all those other guys you mentioned on those ESPN lists. I would love the Florida guy to tell me why.
I think when you start with our producer, Jake, for who people don't know, is a big Florida fan. Jake, defend your boy, sir.
Well, kind of, Robbie. Yeah, let me just reset AP preseason. I'll cut the other part. The AP preseason first team was Braden Smith, AJ DeBansa, JT Toppin, Yaxel, and Alex Condon.
No, please keep that in. I love that.
This is also a great filibuster, as you tried to defend.
Yeah.
Condon being.
But no, do I think Condon is first team All-American? No. But, however, did I think he was going to be a lottery pick going into March Madness last year? No. And that's how the NBA saw it. That's how college basketball teams saw it. I mean, you look back at the Bama game last year where he completely obliterates Bama in the second half, and that was kind of like his true rise and takeoff. But I was just as shocked, Robbie, to see him on first team AP All-American when I don't think he is our third best starter. Now, granted, could he have the potential of just being the guy that as the X factor that takes over and does all these different things? But you have Tommy Houck and you have Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee right next to him. I just don't see how he is going to be leading us in any category besides rebound, defensively, and hustle plays. But again, I'm an idiot, so who knows?
Wow, I thought we were gonna get some more of a defense for your boy, Jake.
Jake have a good answer.
No. Jake's an idiot.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be an AP All-American preseason, or he's going to end up not being a lottery pick. But
Well, I have a question. Do they? Is it like how does they do it? Like, is it by position? Do they have to go 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center, or is it just the 5 best? I don't
I think
remember.
it's. I'm pretty sure it's the 5 best. I was wondering the same thing because when I saw, I was like, "There's no way Alex Condon should be on this list." But then I also thought, okay, maybe it's because he's classified as a center or as a forward. But whatever you say, he's not one of the 10 best, maybe not even one of the, 15 best, I can make an argument, but he's not one of the 10 best players in college basketball to start the season.
Dusty, and again, too, I think All-American team, it's not really a projection, right? It is the best players going into the season, right? So maybe Condon does play in stats. So yeah, I agree. It's kind of weird to have him in spot. As far as the other 4, I'm fine with JT Toppin. I'm the one of the biggest JT Toppin fans out there. AJ DeBansa. It's always interesting when a freshman's first-team All-American. Yaxel, whatever his last name is, shout out to you. Very good. Went to Yale last year, and that's all I got to say. Dusty, any thoughts at all on the first-team All-American list?
No, I think, those lists are put together where it's the excitement of what happened last year, people coming back, and it's names that I always talked about last night. I think Braden Smith's probably the best player in the country, even though I don't think he's going to be, too much of an NBA stud by any means. But great
Why
college.
do you always have to backhand compliment? You can't just leave it as it is. He's the best player in the country, period.
I have a great text about Purdue I'm going to read later, so let's just not worry about that. But I do, and then what's his name at BYU? Obviously for the best freshman in the country, I think it's very easy to make a top, a first team list in a sense, and we get that every year, especially with NIL and how recruitment's changed so much. So it's exciting to have those players' names, but let's just, we'll know more January 1st. Put it that way.
Well, and the crazy part about, like you just said, what the band says, going all up and going into this season, he was going to be the best player in this class. But the way people talk about Darren Peterson is like Michael Beasley-esque type of one and done, Anthony Davis-esque type of one and done performance with like an Anthony Edwards build and style and play. It's kind of scary, and who knows how that's going to work out.
Some have said he's Bill Self's best player that he's ever had.
Self said that.
Okay, Self has said that. I can't remember if that was someone else or actually Bill Self said it.
It was Self.
Yes.
I remember reading that. Yeah, it was Self saying he's the most talented player I've ever recruited and had on my floor.
This freshman class is probably one of the most well-rounded, most talented classes we've had in men's college basketball, maybe since Zion's class in 19. Like it's really, really good.
Rob, I'm glad you said that because I was make this point. I remember we were talking about during season 1 of this pod, I feel like we went through like a lull, like where freshmen weren't really popping in college basketball. We saw that in the draft for a little bit there. Now we're about to get 2 straight years of pretty damn good freshmen. Last year, freshmen took over college basketball. I think they were almost a whole lottery with freshmen last year. And I think we're going to get it again on Bill's All-Americans right there. The whole second team was freshmen except our guy Otega Owe. So, yeah, I love it. I think it's so much better for college basketball when, freshmen are not dominant per se, but are a huge part of it. So I think that's a great thing.
It provides more chaos, I think. It provides more of world of the unknown, because I think ultimately, though, and this will be a topic for when we get to the preseason show next week, is we've consistently seen the teams that are old, the teams that are veterans, those are the teams that win national championships. Do we see a team like a Duke, like a Kansas, like a BYU, one of those teams that has to depend on freshmen? Houston as well. Houston has to depend on a number of freshmen this year. Do those teams, can they win national championships? We have not seen it in the last 2 years. Does that change this year? We'll see.
Who was our last all freshman led?
Well, it's tough because like other Duke and Kentucky, who's really been doing the whole freshman thing in the past, decade and a half.
Is Davis's team?
Duke in 2015 with Okafor, Jones, and Winslow. So that the backcourt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then we should point out Duke last year was probably they were a collapse and Final Four away from being in the national championship.
Would have failed regardless.
Honestly, probably true to that. But yeah, any other comments at all on the All-Americans before we move on, boys?
I want to know, of those names, those 15 names you mentioned on ESPN, what's the name that was not said that you think will be on one of those lists at the end of the season?
So there's a list of honorable mentions here.
Well, before we say this, does you have a name that
those.
jumps out before he reads those? Because I had one that popped out to me.
I think LeBaron Philon's going to be at least second team.
Oh.
He's going to put up some crazy numbers with Alabama. He is just scratching the surface on how good he's going to be this year. Like he is you can't defend him off the dribble. He's so fast and he's become such a good shooter. He and Aiden Holloway are going to have to play off of each other a lot this year at Alabama, but he's probably going to have to average 20 to 25. He's going to have to be that Mark Sears guy that's the alpha dog. And I think that means he's just going to go for some crazy numbers. So I'm saying LeBaron Philon at least second team, maybe first team by the end of the year.
I like that. He's the one who got injured last year, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
No, that was who was that?
No,
it was the South Florida transfer.
Oh, because he had a
Reitzel. Was it Reitzel that got injured?
That's
okay,
what it was.
yeah.
Good call. The two that popped out for me, first of all, I thought Alex Caravan, because I feel like UConn's going to be in the mix, and I think someone has to represent them. So I think, again, this is year 3 or 4 for him, so I feel like just that natural jump.
Year 3 for him.
I know, right?
Why not Braylon Mullins?
Yeah, maybe him too. Yeah, the possibilities are. Hey, Robbie, we asked for a name. I gave you a name. The second one is I'm kind of telling myself here because again, it's preseason for all of us. We're all getting back. Is Uzan's still at Houston, right?
Yeah, he is.
That's kind of a name that popped out to me too. I thought he'd be on the
may or may not have a little future for Player of the Year on him.
And then finally, Mr. Texture over there. Do you have a name?
I don't at the moment.
Okay,
I got 2 names for you, Nick. 2 freshmen that might be better than any of the ones listed on these first 3 teams. One is Mikael Brown Jr. at Louisville.
He's gonna be good.
That man dominated the USA stuff all summer with all these guys. He's by far the best player on the court all year or all summer. And he's walking into Louisville and it's his team. So he's gonna be nasty. And then probably one of the most prolific high school scorers we've seen in the last 20 years. It's a guy by the name of Jason Crow Jr., lefty that is at Missouri. I believe, I'll fact check this, he averaged over 40 for sure for his career. I want to say it was closer to 50 his senior year. High school average.
That's crazy. 40 a year? Jeez. Why is he at Missouri?
By the way, Missouri is sneaky good freshman recruiting class. Apparently, Dennis Gates' philosophy, they got a bunch of guys in the late 60s to 100. So apparently they just got they went quantity over quality. So
I still thought that they were really good last year. Like their bench last year was probably one of the best benches in the country, and then they got just grinded out by Drake in that first round game, and they were done. They were an interesting team last year.
Honest fact about Dennis Gates, his tenure at Missouri, whenever they win an SEC game, they make the tournament. That's just a fact. They either go 0-18 or they make the tournament. There's no in between.
No in between. So you're saying if they go winless in the SEC, they're not going to make the tournament?
I know we're talking about expansion, but I believe they would not. They probably might have some good quad one opportunities in the non-con, but in my analysis, that's correct, Robbie. Yes. Jake, have you found his stats yet?
Yeah, he averaged 34 as a freshman, passed 2,000 points in his before Christmas of his sophomore year. His total for his career was 35.3. And by far will be the highest scoring high school player in California.
Okay. That's the bar. Call it the
for
bar.
a stretch of time, had averaged 62 points over a season his junior year.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
All right. So can I'm not going to give a front runner for first team All-American by any means. Can I give a player for this podcast, people that listen to have fun watching?
Absolutely.
So there's a guy named Maximus Gizzi. He
former Marion point guard.
Didn't he play at New Pal?
No, Marion.
Yep. Huntington.
Marion and then Huntington.
Play at Huntington. He was the NAIA in that conference. Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's now at Minnesota. And he's the starting backup point guard. Their dad, Mike Gizzi, played at LaSalle. Actually got dunked on by Kerry Kittles, is a great story. And then played for Kobe Bryant's dad overseas. But Maximus Gizzi is playing for Minnesota now and got full ride scholarship. You got I found out this week, a couple $1,000 for NIL money from a car dealership in Minneapolis. And
nice.
There's my shout out. So
He was a baller at New Pal. He was so good in high
His
school.
little brother in high school.
Yeah, little brother is now a freshman, I think, at IWU.
Oh,
But she is Indianapolis Wesleyan. I could be wrong on that.
I believe that is right. Nope, never mind.
Minnesota's going to beat some teams this year.
And with
they're
that
a good
Gizzy
team.
family, real quick, that Gizzy family, their sister, I think, is a junior at St. Francis.
Did you go on her
God,
social
the
media?
Crossroads League.
Okay,
Huh?
good. Good.
I did not. I have not checked social media. I am a married man. My ring's on right now. So
Shout out Maximum Glizzy or Gizzy. Hey, he's as good as a Glizzy without the L's.
Great.
and hopefully in Minnesota he'll be Jersey.
Okay. On that note, we will transition to the preseason AP poll. Jake, please pull up the AP this time, not Jay Bills' rankings, if you could.
No, we're going off Bills all year.
Or just do
Just Jay. He's in the corner over there. Just
Billis is the foremost authority.
Gotta go to work.
Gotta go to work. Hey, Jay Billis, if you're listening to this, come on the pod. We will use all of your stuff as our barometer if you come on the pod.
So-
That's for sure.
so real quick before you even
That's a good
dive in,
selling
before
point.
you list off, Robbie, I want to hear from you because everyone knows that Purdue's number one ranked team.
Now you do.
Describe how you feel or what your thoughts are, and I know you're usually pessimistic, but let's just start with that.
Yeah, the most positive person is pessimistic. That is kind of me, in a nutshell. I am terrified. I am deathly terrified. It's always easier to start with low expectations and build your way up, but also at the same time, that's kind of been Purdue when they've been at their best, when they've been playing in the Final Four, when they've been running for championships, they've had high expectations at the start of seasons. So you look at it from that point of view, it's, yes, I'm glad we're ranked number one because I want to get every team's best shot. I want to be challenged. And the best, and this is what was challenging for me as a fan last year, was because I didn't have any expectations, and then all of a sudden they got really good and got in the top 10. I was like, I was not expecting that team to turn out last year. So now I kind of revert back to the Zach Edey team where I just want this team to be playing their best in March. No matter how many times they lose from November to February, it's not going to matter as long as they're healthy because I think they're the best team in the country right now. And I think as long as they continue to progress and continue to improve, they'll have a chance to play for a national championship. They are that good. They're that close. And I think they've added the right pieces. So yes, terrified, but also very excited because this is the best Purdue team of my lifetime. And that's even using the Zach Edey team. This team is better than that team.
Can I read you a text from a Purdue fan that I know?
Okay.
And see if you agree with this. Well, I think Purdue goes undefeated this season and is the most dominant team of all time.
No, I was thinking about
Robbie,
it.
how many bourbons did you have before you
for
sent
the
that one?
record, they can see this. That is a text I got.
They're gonna
Okay,
lose.
there you go.
I love the.
I like
Hey,
this. On this
I love the
podcast,
source.
if Purdue is not going undefeated, it's a failure of a season.
My
first.
response to him was
Mhm.
we were putting a wager on the Kentucky Purdue game scrimmage this weekend,
That's awesome.
and I said to him,
Oh,
"I'll
boy.
double down on that statement." So
No, Purdue's gonna lose at least 5 games this year. You can write it down right now because it's so difficult to win on the road of the Big Ten, and also I think they're gonna get picked off at least once in the non-conference. They're gonna lose to someone, and I think that's gonna be a good thing because again, it's not about the short term; it's the long-term goal. So as long as people can see it for that, that's great. But no, they're not going undefeated. It's not going to happen. Now, it would be pretty incredible if they did, but they're still, and for my money, I think they're the best team in college basketball coming back this year. But that would be wild if they went 41-0 or whatever they would get to that point. I don't think it's going to happen. I really
It'd be
don't,
fair to say,
but-
right?
yeah.
We probably
How
never.
humble of you to say, Robbie. You don't think it's going to go 40-0. We appreciate that on this podcast.
So-
we
so
probably would
ballsy.
never see it, right? I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Never's a long
No.
time. I don't know if I go never, but
Jake, the greatest basketball team in the history of college hoops is
20, 25, 40 gators?
1976. It's the greatest March Madness team in the world because they have a banner in their freaking arena saying it.
no, Robbie.
That's why.
Okay, Robbie. I was gonna say if Purdue goes undefeated this year, we will find a way to sneak into Assembly Hall and hang a banner
Won't be
over
hard.
that.
Cut that part, Jake.
Yeah.
That's admission of guilt right
Oh,
there.
yeah, good point. Yeah, cut that.
No, we will not.
It will
we
not
will
be
not
us.
do that.
It will
Can I
not
just
be
shout
us.
this podcast real quick? This is supposed to be a preseason AP preview. Now we're just dunking on IU for their banner. We've not even touched the AP poll yet. So
I love the question on Purdue because I'm with you. I think there are some Purdue fans who think they can go undefeated, but also I think that is wildly overconfident because there's a lot of good teams on Purdue.
Well, and Robbie, you know who did go undefeated?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they did.
we all three knew where he's going.
72 Dolphins.
72 Dolphins. That's
Okay,
right.
AP poll.
Before we transition to that, Robbie, good news, bad news for Purdue being number one. The past 2 years, Kansas was number one. They won one combined tournament game, but good news is you do not have Hunter Dickinson on your basketball team. So
thank the good Lord above we don't.
So, Dusty and Robbie, I guess we all talk about Purdue is the preseason AP number one team, but there are other teams in the AP poll. Jake has the top 12 in front of me, so I'll just do the top 12, the top half of the AP poll. And they are 1 Purdue, 2 Houston, and Jake just zoomed in, 3 Florida, 4 UConn, 5 St. John's. That's be the first top 10 AP in who knows how long. 6 is Duke, 7 Michigan, 8 is Brigham Young, 9 is our Kentucky Wildcats, 10 is Texas Tech, 11 is Louisville, and 12 is UCLA. Again, like with the AP All-Americans, it's my first time seeing it. I don't know if it's your guys' first time seeing those AP polls. Crab, I'll start with you this time. Any initial thoughts, anything at all about the AP poll?
So I know we're going to talk about this Louisville, where we're going to talk about the player that apparently went from pro back to college, which I'm still so wild about. I wonder if that changes that entire situation. Louisville coming back to relevancy that quickly is honestly pretty remarkable.
He's a crackhead.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
And I love him.
I would say Louisville and UCLA.
You're talking about Pat Kelsey.
Pat Kelsey is the crackhead.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to be specific as to who we're referring to as the crackhead here.
Crackhead in a positive compliment way, not a true addicted to methamphetamines crackhead.
Correct.
Thank you.
Well, I'll say this, and I want Jake to defend this more because Purdue and Houston doesn't surprise me at all. UConn, what Hurley's doing, obviously, we all know is amazing. Florida, I did not know they were bringing that much talent back until about 2 months ago. So
basically, it's everyone but Walter Clayton.
I know.
Elijah Martin too.
So it's the 3 guards got flipped and replaced. Everyone else comes back. All 4 bigs come back. Again, Tommy Houck at 6'10" is going to be starting at the 3. Which again, we don't beat Texas A&M at all without him.
Well, that's kind of my point. Like,
4.
without Walter Clayton, you probably,
what did I say?
we're going the first weekend. So I was just curious about that, but overall, not shocked by anything.
Golden era.
Golden shower era. Yes.
Who in the top 10 shouldn't be in the top 10, and who outside of the top 10 should be in the top 10?
That's such a great first take question. I love that, Robbie.
Isn't it? I know.
Where's Cam Newton?
I think maybe Alabama
I'll say mine. BYU should not be a top 10 team. I think they have the talent to be there, but they shouldn't start there. And I think we put too much stock into how good AJ DeBance is going to be, which he is going to be great, but they will play 0 defense. They are going to be playing games in the 100. You remember, Guru of Go, Loyola, Marymount teams, that's what BYU is going to be this year. They're going to get picked off by someone who's going to grind them out.
Yeah, I would say don't give BYU that much credit, but correct.
Correct. And then, so BYU I don't think should be a top 10 team. I would honestly probably, I can't believe I'm
Are you going to say
maybe Arkansas? I think Arkansas is good enough. I think they're a top 10 team. I would, man, I hate this. I actually think Michigan State's going to be really good. I think they're going to be really
so I was
good.
Mr. Spartan last year. Are you in the Spartan train this year, Robbie?
I have changed my tune. Now, the only problem is that they have, who was the guy? They brought a guy, Caleb Glenn was the guy that was going to be like their dude this year. He's out for the season with an injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is it for the season?
Yes, I believe it's for the season, if I'm not mistaken. But Izzo is at his best. His teams are at their best when he has a point guard that he can yell, scream, and do whatever to. And Jeremy Fears is basically a worse shooting Kalen Lucas. And when Michigan State has that kind of a player leading their team, that's when they're dangerous. So I think Michigan State has the potential to be it's a dangerous Michigan State team because it's an unassuming Michigan State team. It's almost like kind of what I was talking about with Purdue, where they're better when they have low expectations. Michigan State is way more dangerous when they are unassuming and they get disrespected. And I think that's the kind of team that he
not even
has.
trying to be funny, but like, yeah, when they're like a 7 seed or 8 seed, I feel like that's when they make their runs.
It's the old Auburn football thinking. When you least expect them to be good, so they make the national championship. Yeah, I agree with that. Jake, you pulled back the top 10 real quick again. I gotta be honest, like, again, this is my first time seeing the top 10. Nothing really jarring came out. Like, I just really not a team I would say shocked me to answer your question, Robbie. I guess if I had to pick one, BYU would be the safe answer again, because there's a lot of just. But again, they were really good last year. They bring back Richie Saunders. Can I just say, looking at the top 10 was very interesting. Again, I'm doing this off the top of my head. How many of these teams are with the coach in their first 3 years, 4 years at the school, right? So Florida, St. John's, Michigan,
Duke. So Shire hasn't been there, but
Shire,
4 years, I think.
Kentucky, and McCaskey, Kentucky, or at Texas Tech. He's by what, 4?
So that's 6, I think, total.
So you got Louisville sitting at 11 and UCLA at 12, which are still
and then Cal,
fresh.
Arkansas is 14. Like, I think that's just so fascinating. And Tommy Lloyd, even at 13, like, it's kind of amazing. You look at all these schools, like you said, it's mostly new coaches. And I think that's kind of exciting that, like, you're always potentially one hire away from being a top 10 school. So to me, that's what jumped out looking at the top 10 rankings.
The other two things, and so I think I have a team I always love at the start of the year. That was Kansas State for me last year. And then a team I always hate. The team I'm going to despise all season long is going to be Iowa State, because they are going to win so many games and just poop the bed when they get to February. It's wash, rinse, repeat. Here we go again. It's the same team as last year. I'm Iowa State, I'm on to you. I'm not falling for your crap again this year. No, we're not letting it happen. So Iowa State, never again. I went to the chalkboard yesterday, wrote down Iowa State, never again, 50,000 times. We're not doing this again. I'm sorry, TJ, but no.
Wow, you're ready for this, weren't you?
I was. I'm just saying, there's certain teams, and I am so freaking tired of hearing about how great Illinois is going to be with all these Eastern Bloc players. Okay? When the last time did Brad Underwood have a team that made Final Four? When was the last time Brad Underwood had a team that didn't choke away a really good team? He's done it every single year. When are we going to start figuring out that trends happen in college basketball and those trends continue? Illinois and Iowa State are the trends this year. Tennessee's going to make the Elite Eight and lose. This is what they do. This is what these teams do. You follow the trends and you let it continue to play out as it is. Also, Purdue's going to make a Final Four. So there it is.
Okay, so you're anti-Iowa State, anti-Illinois. Anything else we got off your chest, Robbie? What else do you hate?
Yeah,
you feel like you're on fall break, you're living your best life. Anything else? Who else do you hate?
No. NC State should be ranked.
Will
Wade and NC State, they are going to be damn good.
Sitting at 38 in KenPom.
Maybe that's my Kansas State this year. NC State's my Kansas State this year. Like they're going to be really, really good. I think they're going to be top 20 good by January.
You got anything on the AP polls before we move on?
Very notable team. Does anybody know anything about Gonzaga this year? Is this the quietest Gonzaga has gone into a season?
EK's still there, right?
Yeah.
That's about all I got for you.
EK's still there.
But is this the quietest they've been going into a season? Under few?
Maybe.
I would say so.
Their guard play is going to be a conundrum. But they still are. Braden Huff and Graham Ike are still there. So that's still going to make them relevant. But remember, they don't get Tyon Grant Foster because he didn't get his 6th year of eligibility.
Which
we should have talked about that. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Well, let's bring that up to go in with the Louisville stuff. So we'll talk NCAA stuff right now. But for those who didn't see, so Tyon Grant Foster, he was trying to get a waiver to play a 6th year of NCAA college basketball, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
and
to play a 6 year is hyphenated. He died twice.
Yes. He died. Yes. So,
and I don't mean that jokingly.
The NCAA does not like resurrected people. So The NCAA is anti-Christian, does not like Jesus. That is what we are saying here.
Lazarus as well.
And that's why DeMar Hamlin's never played college
That's it.
basketball either.
Yeah.
They're just anti-resurrection. So, yeah,
Also
that's
true.
notable news. Tyon Grant Foster out for...
He would have been huge for Gonzaga this year. Huge if he could have been added to that team.
So, on that note, you mentioned, Robbie, this is a good transition. So, for people who didn't see this, I think, does it just come out today about Louisville signing this player today? This is very...
This week.
Yesterday.
So, I'm not too familiar with this. Robbie, did you say you had some info on this, the Louisville signee this week? Or producer Jake, maybe can pull it up. It's preseason for all of us fans, okay? We're all working out here, okay?
So there is a G League player by the name of London Johnson who turned professional in October of 2022. That is 3 years ago he turned pro. And somehow Louisville has been able to cook the books and get him to sign and play college basketball starting not next season, December.
Crazy.
December. So we get mid-season enrollees now from professional basketball. Tell me how that makes sense.
I really don't. Like, I don't get, even for people to see, Tom Izzo made a comment about this. He was not very happy. Dan Hurley tweeted or either retweeted or tweeted something about something. So it's not just, the fans online not being happy about it. It seems like other college basketball coaches aren't happy about this either. And I'm not really sure how this is possible.
Well, and that's I would like to push back on those two coaches specifically for publicly speaking, because does it matter that this player is going to Louisville, or does it matter that this player is going back to college? Because a month ago there was another one of the G League guys that committed to play college basketball as well, to Santa Clara.
So where you're arguing if you didn't? If
my point is,
Louisville,
a month ago they didn't say a word about this. When the other guy committed.
So wait, so this has happened twice?
Yeah, this is the second time.
So what I don't understand.
Well, I didn't know the first time.
What I don't understand is I believe there's litigation that with the transfer portal now, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that you can't transfer from D1 to D2.
Yeah, Theory Darlin.
Or D2 to D3. You can't go lower levels, to my knowledge. I believe that's correct.
Well, this has nothing to do with transfer portal.
Well,
this is all because NIL's allowed.
I'm getting at that. So if you're not allowed to go from D1 to D2 or D3 to NIL or wherever, why are you able to go from professional basketball, that's what the G League is, back to college, which is, I know there's you payment now, but it's a lower level it should be a lower level. So that's the part that I don't understand it. I don't understand why NCAA sucks. We all know that. This makes no sense.
Good for him.
Literally,
good for him. He's literally played games in the G League.
He's probably played against NBA players that have played in the NBA. Like,
easily.
I don't know how you police this, but anyone who's played in any professional league, whether it's international or domestically, you should not be able to play college basketball again. Like, so anyone who's played EuroLeague, who's played in the Israeli league, that's including, like, Omer Meyer probably shouldn't be playing college basketball. I understand that those are the only avenues those guys can play basketball in, but you should not be playing.
Yes,
you should not have any experience playing professional basketball.
Now
the
whole aspect of amateurism and student athletes is gone.
Oh, that's been out the window.
Well, I know that. I understand that. But I'm saying now you're completely depleting it and saying it's gone.
We'll play devil's advocate. Robbie, what are your thoughts about on a 15-year-old? Like, take Luka at 15. If he would have been 17 and said, I want to go play college ball.
No, because he played for Real Madrid. He was in EuroLeague. That is a professional league. He was getting paid to play basketball.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that stance. I just want to make sure we are clarifying that for the listeners.
Correct. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're under the age of 18 or not, or if you're still not, whatever it may be.
Age should not matter. If you play in any professional league,
age should matter, but in this context, it shouldn't. Or it should.
Correct. Yes, but I don't know how or when it started, but for some reason now here comes the international influx of players. Maybe it was St. Mary's that kind of started it with the Australian pipeline, but college basketball should be for amateur development. It should not include players who have played against other adults. That's just that goes against the basis of what college athletics is. So I don't understand it, but I think we've completely opened Pandora's box on anything college sports. It's just a free for all now.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm speaking out loud right here. Didn't they recently rule that like people who enter the draft or don't get drafted can go back to college? So is this how they're able to loophole this? Is
That's what I was just.
Is that he didn't get drafted? Maybe. So is
I believe so. I believe so. Yes.
So maybe that's like an unintentional consequence
so,
of that.
So to him, it's more like an AAU team. In a sense.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
the G League. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's kind
you're
of
basically
so Robbie. I don't agree with you on this. I'll say this. So let's go back to the Luka Doncic thing. I mean, remember the whole thing with players going to the NBA is an NBA rule, right?
It's not a college rule; it's an NBA.
And the NBA runs the G League. So I do think that if it's an NBA focus and it's the G League, blah blah, you are associated with the NBA. So if someone like Doncic did play overseas at 15, is that damn good? Let's just be honest. I would still say he should be able to play college ball. But if you're actually affiliated with the NBA and they're the ones with the rule, that's where I don't get on this whole standpoint where why is he able now to go from G League, the NBA minor league, now coming back and going to college sports when you had that rule? And sorry, I know you're about to say something.
And I guess I just don't understand this from this NCAA standpoint. You have your pedestal and you sit on this floating rock above everyone, morality at any time that you want to. But just like Foster Grant, the man has literally has heart beating stopped twice to miss 2 full seasons. You're not going to grant him eligibility because of what? And whatever your answer is, cannot equal a value that is understandable to anyone that you're going to allow a guy that is 21 years old and 20 and 21 years old, 2 players in the last 4 weeks to go from a paid this is saying I'm not very good for the Indianapolis Indians. I'm going to go back and play for LSU and win a national championship. It is the exact same scenario in college baseball. And I just don't get how they approve things and how they, none of us know how they go by their checks and balances. None of it makes sense, but how can it be allowed in a sense? And then where's the stopping point? Does LeBron have the ability to go play 4 years of college football? I mean, I know that's the running joke idea.
I think you already can. You've always been able to go play a different sport. I think in college, you could go pro in a different.
No,
like Brandon Whedon played.
No, but that was the amateur.
Like Brandon Whedon played professional minor league baseball and then came back and played college. Yeah, you mentioned Chris Winkie was another famous one. We're getting off track. Well, I'm just saying you can.
Well, and one of you may know the difference on this. I believe when you have playing for the organizations rather than also doing brand sponsorship, because he was a Nike athlete, you couldn't go back and play football now.
Yeah, we're getting off track. This doesn't really matter.
BYU is overrated.
If I was Brian Kelly, instead of using a scissor lift for anything, I would just go get Victor Wembanyama and just say, you can go record practice and get the high view of everything. And then you can come be our goal line receiver that we just throw it up to you. You just catch it from Garrett Nussmeier. That would have been perfect.
I like that transition, Robbie. I was surprised. This was one of the more like serious topics we've had on the show. That was a very like hearty debate from all of us. I will say this. I hate to say this as a Kentucky fan. I will give credit to Louisville for finding this loophole. They just got a G Leaguer on their team for this year. So credit to them for, hey, if they're going to let you do it, screw it. Go ahead and do it. So shout out Louisville for finding a way to bend the rules per usual.
Congratulations to Purdue for signing Tyrese Halliburton. He's decided to play this year actually for Purdue.
So that's why he tore his Achilles. Yeah, that Purdue stink on him.
That is why.
It all makes sense. Last thing before I guess we hit our main topics and before we preview our mega ultra preview of the Kentucky-Purdue scrimmage, Dusty, I know you brought this up, the Illinois State basketball coach. I apologize. I don't have his name in front of me. Again, it's preseason for all of us, whatever. He made some interesting comments this week about trying, schedule, I don't know, like major teams, trying to get quad one opportunities. Jake, I don't know if you can find a quote somewhere. By the way, his name is Ryan
Pedon.
P-E-D-O-N.
Yeah, I actually want to talk on this one. Actually, kind of hits home for me for someone who tried to get into coaching, and for those who didn't listen to this the last couple of years, I was hoping to get a job at Rider University a couple of years ago, and I got to basically talk to the small conference type appeal. So they essentially got a game, I believe, against UCLA, neutral site.
USC.
That's 9 miles from USC's campus. And that was their neutral game. And I do think that's kind of a, I don't know, messed up way to go about how these really good. I mean, we were just talking about Gonzaga, being in the top 25. We don't really know how good they're going to be, or BYU because they got the number one player in the country. But go ahead, Nick.
So sorry, I'm just cutting out. So this is the full quote from Ryan Padone, is how I'm going to say it. So, quote, mid-majors are getting squeezed out of this thing. Talk about scheduling in college basketball. We were like 0 for 60 on trying to schedule high majors in the regular season. They want to play quad ones and quad fours that they can beat by 30 or 40
quad
points.
Fours they want to blow out.
Yeah, to not hurt their metrics. So it's stacked against us. For mid-majors, it's becoming harder and harder to get those kinds of opportunities. Like Dusty said, USC was one of the teams that finally agreed to play them on a neutral floor, which is 9 miles from their campus. So for context out there, that's the quote from Brian Padone. So sorry, crowd, finish up your.
I mean that you're literally handcuffing these not just teams but coaches. Where I mean, and again, we all talk about like tournament expansion. We always say, I've said this forever. Almost every single team, 95% of the teams, because not every team makes their conference tournament, and some of the smaller ones. But if you just went out starting March, let's just say 3rd, you can win the national championship, right? That might be 13 games, might be 7 games, 6 games, or whatever. But some of those teams are now so handcuffed to you have to win those games, where it's just like, why can't we have more mid-majors? And the tournament expansion is now turning more into, let's make sure that Virginia Tech, there was like 4 straight years that they didn't make the tournament when what's his name?
Shout out Seth Greenberg.
Greenberg, thank you, was coaching there. I don't know. It's just I don't like that it's almost helping out the power conferences, and we know what's going on with college football and the whole thing that's driven by that. But Robbie, I want to hear what you have to say about this.
Well, this screams that we need to bring back bracket busters. That's what you're telling me.
Hell yes. I did not even think about that.
I don't know why we ever got rid of it. It was such a great time for college basketball where you could have those quad 2, quad 3 teams play each other. And
it was always like the second week in February, I feel like. It was always on Valentine's Day.
So you could have teams from the Atlantic Sun play the Colonial Athletic Association, or now it's the Coastal Athletic Association. Or you could have Big West play West Coast Conference teams. We need those kinds of matchups back in college basketball. So I think in a weird way, this actually might band those teams closer together because, those quad 2, quad 3 games, you play those home and home games. Like let's say, for instance, like a Grand Canyon plays Murray State at Murray State. That would be a quad 2 game. And that would be a great game. Why can't they schedule those kinds of games? I know those kinds of teams are trying to get the quad 1 games and more opportunities, but if they're not going to schedule, then find a workaround and figure it out. We've always been trending towards this, that the more money and the more emphasis on these super conferences, you're going to push the mid-majors out. And that just means you need those mid-majors to kind of come together and say, screw you guys, we're going to do our own thing, and we're going to find a way to beat your ass when we see you in March. That's what it should get to.
So here's my fear, and I'll let you guys talk if you want to. My fear is what we're trending towards right now is that the Power 4 conferences, when it comes to that, that's going to be the NCAA tournament. And then our quad 2, quad 3 leagues, that's the NIT. And then they focus on the NIT, and I hope it never gets to that. We all love March Madness for a reason in the tournament. But that's where I feel like it's kind of driving towards, especially with all the money and the football money. But that's
I was going to ask, do you think that's why we don't have the Grand Canyon Murray State game anymore? Because it's not worth the bang for the buck that the program needs to spend other places?
It was partially ESPN doing most of that work. Because ESPN was, because ESPN Productions was the ones who they were the ones who produced Bracket Busters, so they were the ones who invested in it. So, in a weird way, I don't know if like Field of 68 is doing like a preseason tip-off with their games. Yeah. So, and a lot of those games are mid-major teams, which is great. So, I think I would love to see a Barstool, Field of 68, heck, even Sleepers.
Like D1 and done, Bracket Buster
D1
weekend.
And done. If we could somehow sponsor or invest a mid-major kind of players
we need
era
money.
thing.
We need money, listeners.
The problem,
Oh,
that's the
shameless.
problem is there isn't enough money. Like, people don't want to put money into something like that because that's the hardcore, dead-eye, sicko college basketball fan that wants that kind of thing. And it's such a small population that it's hard to be able to commit money towards something like that. That would be awesome to have.
Hey, on Robbie, our local Brian Windhorst in More Ways Than One wants to comment on this. You got the fingers up.
Oh, boy.
Jake, you put the Windhorst fingers up. What's up?
Is this not appealing to the G League?
So you're saying what?
And again,
G League
I might clip this part completely, but I'm more just curious.
You're gonna clip. Our producer's gonna clip.
I'm gonna clip this for make sure we don't get an idea stolen from us. Is this not? You're talking about where the money and where it's meaningful to, and who's it was to invest that money into it. Why wouldn't the G League?
I mean, the G League, for all intents and purposes,
you're starting to lose players.
Not marketable.
Back to it.
Yeah,
but you have a financial incentive to put together a roster and to find the right talent.
Why can't the Noblesville Boom go play Butler? Like,
how? No, I'm saying just like the Champions Classic is beneficial to name the sponsors. It's also very important to these NBA executives.
Yeah,
where I'm saying a mid-major type of event weekend, even if it's 2 to 10 games, whatever it is, that's the G League. That's where they're scouting, is that level of athlete and player.
Right.
International teams, that kind of stuff. EuroLeague and G League, where you're saying, hey, the NBA's getting ready to watch their EuroLeague, aren't they?
Something like that, yeah. I don't know, but
moronic. But I digress. It's just something I thought about. There is a market for people who want to do this outside of the sickos like the rest of us. And at Sickos Committee, great follow on Twitter.
I'll just say in my thoughts, not to play devil's advocate, I guess I'm surprised there's even a story. I think it's been going for so long. I think you never see these games anyways. I guess, I don't know. He's kind of saying that quiet out loud. Like, I can't imagine.
Just look at IU's schedule the last 4 years.
I mean, Kentucky's the same way. It's all quad fours and quad ones.
Games they have.
There's no those middle kind of games. Yeah, so I think this has been going for a long time, which I wish it didn't, but that's kind of the reality we've found ourselves in. Maybe they can change the quad system in a way that they does incentivize teams to do this, but I don't know how you do that.
They should. It should be where if you play a quad 4 team, you shouldn't. It's almost like it's like a 0.75 multiplier.
Sure.
And when you play like a quad 3, it's a 1, quad 2, 1 point, like something like that. I'm not saying that that's the system we should go to, but are almost like you get 2 quad 4 games and you can't schedule any more than that. But the problem is, like, who's a quad 4 team? Are they going to be better than a quad 4 team by December? We don't know. But
yeah, I was going to say, like, in the preseason, you don't know.
What's the quad rating? Right. Who is the founder of the quad rating?
Jeremy Quad. I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is it a Kim Pom thing? Is it that's what I'm saying. Like, is there a metric system in which this is all valued at in the first place? Because at what point do we just, similar to the BCS in football years ago, at what point do we handed everything over to Kim Pom to decide all this shit?
I think the NCAA actually was the one who just the NCAA as a whole created the
system. Okay, well, the committee. Okay, that makes sense. I genuinely.
What's that script? They're really good at how they run things. So good thing they're
right. Yeah. I do want to shout out Ryan Padone, because I too, as a single man, can relate going 0 for 60 trying to schedule a date with a high major at the bar. So it's tough out here, Ryan.
But you raked those high 4 or the quad 4, right?
I love you, Mom, if you're watching. Shout out Illinois State. Go make the tournament. All right, just one last thing before we move on to other things. Kentucky Purdue have an exhibition this Friday. Pretty cool. It's a pod war this Friday exhibition at Rupp Arena. I will be there with
boots on the ground
boots on the ground on assignment with friend of the podcast, my cousin Nate. Shout out to you. Rob, we'll start with you. We don't have to talk too long about it. Just anything you're looking for at all about this game or exhibition at all.
I hope Kentucky wins.
Hey, thanks.
I said it.
So going to get.
Is this going to count as one of your 5 losses for Purdue?
No,
so
it's not. But
so patronizing.
Purdue has been better when they've lost these games, and they're not going to prepare for it as a normal game. I'm just excited to see. I don't know what to expect out of Kentucky, so that's why I'm excited to see like what kind of Kentucky team has, and I'm excited to see how Purdue experiments with lineups and how they play well together. Like Omer Meyer, how does he handle being in a big atmosphere? Like, we should play these kinds of games more, but they should matter. And I wish we played these games on campuses rather than like Champions Classic neutral sites where we could get these home game environments in November. That's one of my takes on that.
Yeah, Dutch, before I go to you, I'm basically saying the same thing. Kentucky has a lot of new people, as a lot of teams do. So I'm very interested to see, the lineups and how they play guys and all that. And especially, I don't know if we talked about this. Kentucky had an injury in the blue and white scrimmage. Jalen Lowe's hurt. There's conflicting reports whether he'll be back for Louisville game, which is sneaky early. Is this November 11th this year? Kentucky,
President's Day, right?
Kentucky and Louisville.
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. Look at you, Jake.
I knew it was one of them.
Day.
Kentucky and Louisville play each other in basketball before they play each other in football this year, which is crazy to think about. So yeah, I'm with you, Robbie. I don't really care about the score. I'm interested to see how they, do lineups and stuff like that. Dusty, you got anything about cat spoilers, pod war?
No, I mean, I do think it's coming. Who did Auburn play last week? They lost to, was it Texas Tech?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State, thank you. I think it's cool that they're doing these games, but like you said, Robbie, I mean, they should just be games. Who cares? Like, just put it on there. But so that my question is always like, how do you prep for it? Are you just putting in lineups? Are you truly going into it where it's like, almost I kind of want to lose because I can have an excuse to lose to Kentucky or Purdue because I'm trying lineups that I wasn't trying to game that quote counts. But
TKR at the point.
Yeah, I'm more excited for Robbie since he wants to see how his Kentucky team is to see his scouting report after this scrimmage on Friday.
Oh, you want my Kentucky scouting report after they play?
Correct.
Okay, interesting.
And will you rank them in terms of NIL spending as well? Into what is a $22 million roster for the Cats this year?
Wow. I will say Kentucky fans are really hyping this game up big time. Like they are.
Robbie's had Matt Jones on all week.
Yeah, and look, he's wearing a Kentucky blue. Is that Kentucky blue you're wearing too?
NASA.
No, it's a NASA shirt.
To be fair,
because
that might clarify as a Purdue shirt.
To be fair, this is
it is because we put people on the moon.
Allegedly, this is BBM we're talking about. They hype up football games against Toledo. Okay, so
I understand, but I'm just saying, like I
don't like your whole tone about this, Robbie. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like this little stiff your nose at us. I hope they win.
Dead serious right now, Robbie and Nick. Would you guys be more pumped Friday, Kentucky Purdue basketball or football if they played? Because that would be a great football game.
It would be
competitive football game.
Yeah.
Kentucky's offense versus Purdue's defense in football would be a sight to see. That would be the stoppable force meets the movable object. Who's going to win? For those who don't know, by the way, Nick and I have a gentleman's bet on between Purdue and Kentucky, which college football team has more wins this year. And so far, we're tied at 2. and hey, Jake, why are you laughing? How many wins you got over there?
3. I got Lane Kiffin coming in.
I love
Purdue, which Robbie
Purdue's last chance for who? What?
Sullivan, not fired. Leaves of absence. No given reason. No timetable for return.
Get Scott Strickland. Get him out of there. He's an absolute nightmare at Florida. Golly.
Sorry, you were saying.
Anyway, I was saying that Purdue's last chance to win a football game is going to be this Saturday when they host Rutgers for homecoming. They play every other team they play after that, they will not beat, which means if Purdue loses this game, I'm going to owe Nick a bottle of bourbon because Kentucky plays Tennessee Tech later in the season.
Who's top 10 FCS, by the way.
Top 10 FCS and undefeated. So I'm still holding out hope that somehow Tennessee Tech wins that game. But regardless, it's literally one of the it's the bet that has given me the most anxiety and kept me up at night because Purdue continues to
just bottle of bourbon.
Awful. A bottle of bourbon. And if we tie, we go to a bar, we each buy each other a drink, and we, sing all of our lovely songs together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, that's our Kentucky Purdue exhibition ultra mega preview
and football
update and football updates. Before we wrap up the show, I guess there's other exhibition results. Anyone got anything you want to say at all about those? Robbie, your hand is up. I go to you.
I've got a ton, and I start with my most hated team. Did you know Iowa State in their loss to Creighton went 0 for 14 from 3
that rocks.
In their exhibition game? Isn't that great? Keep it up, Iowa State. You suck. I hate you.
Wow.
Washington is going to be the team to watch in the Big Ten this year. You need to learn the name Hannah Steinbach. He is going to be an absolute pain in the ass for teams to play this year. There's another one of those professionals that came over to play college basketball. He's going to be a monster this year around the basket. He had 22 and 16 in their exhibition game over UNLV. He's a nightmare. And Washington, I think, is going to be pretty good. By the way, I have a full list. I did some homework, so I'm ready for more. IU looked awesome. Marion sucks. Okay, let's move on. I'm sorry, Jake.
Hey, that's Coach Knight's problem.
Sucks.
Tucker DeVries looks awesome. Trent Sisley looked really good.
Well,
I was very impressed.
Real quick though, shout to Wes Stowers for.
Yeah, shout out to Wes, inducted into the Marion Athletic Hall of Fame this past weekend.
All-time leading scorer. And I'm actually having
awesome.
beverages with him next week.
Nice.
For people who don't know, Jake played college basketball at Marion. His teammate Wes Stowers. That's who we're referring to.
Wes and I played AAU together for Dusty, as well as committed to Marion together.
Correct.
Robbie, continue with your ultra exhibition notes.
I have so many more.
I love these. These matter a lot, Robbie. I love we have a ton of notes on them.
Auburn losing to Oklahoma State. We mentioned that a little bit earlier on the pod. To Hot Pettiford, 4 for 16 shooting from the field. That's not great. I think Auburn has the potential to be one of those teams that crashes out of the top 25 quickly because it's a new kind of program with Stephen Pearl. I'm concerned about Auburn. I don't know how good they're going to be.
That Stephen Pearl's the coach there. I know we talked about in the last episode, but it's just wild.
Shout out to the Lancers of Grace College in Indiana. They led Colorado at the half of their exhibition game. They ended up losing by 30, but still, great job, Grace. That's awesome. They're usually one of the best NAIA teams in the country every single year for basketball. So, good for Grace.
Another mention. That's like the fourth shout out to the Crossroads League that they've had on this pod today.
Yeah, love it. Rink Mast, get used to that name too. He's going to be a monster for Nebraska.
What's that name?
Nebraska Rink Mast.
What a great name.
Yeah, he is a smaller version of Luka Garza when he was at Iowa.
So white and slow and can shoot. Oh no, Garza. I was thinking Doncic, but yeah, big, white, and slow.
Yeah,
big, white, and slow. That's what he is. But he can get buckets.
Shout out Garza.
His last name's Mass, I guess, if he's kind of bigger and slower.
Mast. Mm-hmm. Yeah. AJ DeBanza can score, but he thinks defense is optional, which will be perfect for that BYU system. So I'm excited for watching that. You guys have probably seen this before, but growing up and watching like AAU and Super Hoops basketball, there was always a guy on the floor that you're like, that guy has no business being out there because he's so much better than everyone else and just towers and looks physically imposing compared to everyone else. You've seen those guys.
Oh, yeah, we're following.
Yeah,
a few names in mind.
That's Yaxel Lindeborg at Michigan. He looked like he didn't even belong to be in a college basketball court. He should be in the NBA. That's how good he looked, and it scares me to death because Michigan. I know that they didn't have Marez Johnson and Adamara, but Michigan's going to be really good. I think it's going to be between them and Purdue to win the Big Ten this year. They are legit. And then Cam Boozer looks like an absolute freaking domination. Like he looks incredible. So I hate to say it, but Duke's probably going to be good again. And Cam Boozer might average 20 and 10, and he's going to make it look really easy doing it. He looked really good in that UCF game. So those are my exhibition takeaways. I'm sure I missed a few others, but those are the ones I tracked down.
Appreciate that, Robbie. I think it's just fun they do these more often, like actual like power programs that play each other. And I know we touched on that with Kentucky Purdue, but I think it's great to do that. I know they're not all televised, but it's great.
Confirmed that exhibition games do not matter, but they do matter. So make sense of that as you will.
That's our tagline, the pod, right there. Alrighty, I guess we can go to wrap ups and stuff of season 3, episode 2. Nailed it. Dusty, our old segment. Do you have a story time for us today? If not, that is fine. No assignment was due today.
No assignment was due. Don't have one off the top of my head, and I did not prepare for this. I would just say that I have some really good ones I've thought of that I want to go more in depth with that I'll give this year. Some funny ones that I'd forgotten about.
I like it. A little preview.
Yeah, a little preview. So today now, I did tell the story actually yesterday at a lunch about when Alex Legion dunked on me in my first Kentucky basketball scrimmage. So there you go. He was, because I think Alex Legion was about 6'3", 6'4", and I went to go strip him on a fast break by, for those that are watching, strip him down like this to get the ball.
You did what to him?
He stripped down Alex
I went
Legion.
to take my hand to steal the ball from him in this angle, and he rose up, and next thing I knew, I was laying on the ground, his nuts hit my face, and he tomahawk dunked it, and that's when I was like, okay, welcome to Division I. So there you go. Just made that.
That is going to be one hell of a transcript.
Yeah.
You stripped him down, and then he
stripped him down, nuts in my face. There you go. Welcome to Division I.
Was he a 5-star guy out of Michigan?
Yes,
he was really highly rated, wasn't
he?
He
went to Illinois next.
And then actually the first time in Kentucky.
And then FIU shout Isaiah Thomas.
Here, we can tell the story then. First time Kentucky fans hated me, Kentucky Sports Radio, Matt Jones, first time that he spoke to me. It's because Alex Legion and I went to Denny's when he decided to transfer.
No free ads.
No free ads. There you go, Denny's. And he told me, and he told Matt Jones that he told me. And so I apparently was the whistleblower because he left Kentucky at the semester, went to, I think, straight to Florida International, right?
Straight to Illinois.
Illinois, then Florida National. And apparently the comment was, I convinced him to leave. Not true at all. I literally had biscuits and gravy with him. And he only called me because I had a car and he didn't. And he just wanted food. He's like, hey, man, I'm going to transfer. And that's when the rumors come out that also Billy Gillespie had slept with his mom. So here you go. More hot takes. But yeah, there you go. There's a story.
I'm laughing because you said whistleblower. When I think whistleblower, I think like political scandals. Yeah. You know, you and Alex Legion with the Denny's on a Thursday night.
But that's that's the BBN of. That's the BBN's version of
good espionage happens is at Denny's in Lexington.
If that ball came into Denny's right now,
Jake, let's move. Jake, you give us a team every week to keep an eye on. I'm trying to remember. You kind of did a segment late, so I had the kind of genesis.
Yes, well, it's going to be along the facts of either a team or a group of players that are very interesting to know about college basketball. My decisions for this week are the first team all-name team for this year's college basketball.
These are so good.
This is a wonderful slate. Starting at the first name on the list. Here we are from Xavier. We have All Right.
Force him left.
You went. Hold on.
Spell that.
ALL first name, last name Wright. WRIGHT. Number 2 at UT Rio Grande Valley. Always right. Not related. It is always spelled the same as I. Then we have from Louisiana Monroe, Wiggy Ball, WIGGY, Wiggy Ball.
That should not be funny.
Almost as good as Solo Ball.
Exactly. Shout out to Mike Bell. Then from Sam Houston, we have Po' Boy King.
Po' Boy King?
Po' Boy King.
Oh, boy.
He looks like a po' boy. And then we have Chandler Bing from Vanderbilt, by the way. Nice player as well.
I'll say that was an SEC guy.
He is a good player.
And then rounding out the first team, playing at Lemoyne, a newly Division I school in the last couple of years. There's no way in hell this kid didn't get bullied at some point, but at least his teacher. His name and full name, I repeat, is Tennessee Rainwater.
I think sick. That's a sick name.
That's a cool name.
Tennessee Rainwater.
That man is destined to be a country megastar, like country music megastar. That's Tennessee Rainwater.
Yeah,
that
you
man
may have to cut this, Jake.
Not do that.
Name right there.
Oh, 100% is.
Yeah.
Yep, that will be muted.
General Rainwater.
Yeah. Jake, those were fantastic.
Yep.
That was really
there's
good,
week
Jake.
1. There's your first
Mm-hmm.
team all-name team heading to college basketball, which is always a great list. Shout out to Key Peels.
Oh yeah,
Wiggy Ball. I don't really have a funny for the week for college basketball. I just will think of something from all sports made me laugh this week. For you NFL fans out there, I'll see one of the big topics is the tush push that the Eagles do. What made me laugh is what the Vikings did this week to try and stop it. Did you guys see this at all? What they did? If people didn't see, the Minnesota Vikings had a literal defensive lineman like lay down in front of the ball that acted like a dam trying to stop the water or something like that. And what makes me laugh is I would have loved to see the conversation they had with this poor defensive lineman. Like, hey, you ever seen The Lion King? Remember when Mufasa gets trampled? That's going to be you this Sunday. We're going to need you to lay down in front of the that poor guy. If I had a game ball, I'd give it to him. So,
or just be like, hey, did you ever live in an apartment complex and you had to pull in and there's a speed bump? We want you to be him.
I mean, the tush push is horrifying. I could not imagine trying to lay down in the middle of that. So, shout out to that Minnesota Vikings defensive lineman. You're the Knicks funny of the week. I guess Brian Flores might get his too for sacrificing him. Robbie, I guess we don't really have a segment for you to close out. We need to think of something for you.
Robbie, real quick, as you do this, pro con, tush push.
I think it's dumb.
Are you for or against it? You want it?
Against it.
Thank you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's your final thoughts?
I want on behalf of the pod, I want us to send our best to Matthew Graves, the head coach of Indiana State. He is having triple bypass surgery coming up on Monday. He's taking an indefinite leave of absence as the head coach of the Indiana State men's basketball. So we wish him the best. He is an Indiana basketball legend. So hope to see him back on the bench soon. And we send our best to him and his family for a speedy recovery. We look forward to having him back in college basketball soon.
Well said, Robbie. Like you said, thoughts and prayers for his family. Shout out, like you said, legend in the state. Jake, on to you. Do you have a shout out for the week? What?
Shout out to the one and only, and thoughts and prayers to the families and friends as well. But ladies and gentlemen, pour one out. R.I.P. Sister Jean. That college basketball's princess has finally decided to go above and watch from the rafters and no longer sit courtside in a wheelchair like she's Pablo from the backyard baseball games.
106, right, was the age?
106.
Maybe we all live that long. Was that 106? So 1920? That's what a life. God bless her.
I saw a tweet. And first of all, for those that are watching, I smiled, not laughing at her death. We have a joke recording with her with friends. Very cool story for her. But I did see something where it basically was a tweet that Sister Jean had seen it was both World Wars, Korean War,
Great Depression, probably
all this stuff, but has never seen a Tennessee Final Four. So that's why I was not expecting you to bring her up. So that made me smile because of that. So
she also got to see Purdue win a national championship in 1932.
Correct. And she just missed Noblesville track and field winning the 1914.
Oh, so close.
State title. But yes, R.I.P. Sister Jean. Her story truly is amazing. So,
Dusty, shout out before we go.
Shout out to my love, Mike McDaniel. I love the Dolphins, as you guys see. I really love that man. I hate that he's getting crapped on now for his style and his persona.
And his record.
His lack of winning.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So this lack of winning, but I give him credit for being true to himself and not changing things just because you're struggling. So God bless that man.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
There we go. Sister Jean did not.
Breaking news, and last thing I'll say before we get out, I have breaking news, confirmation. Max Gizzy will be joining us in the next 14 days on the pod for an interview.
Woo!
Great.
Minnesota point guard from Indiana.
Well, as another tease too, I do want to shout real quick myself before we go to just kind of sports in general, because me and Jake are going to the Pacers season/home opener tomorrow versus OKC Thunder.
I will also be there.
I just learned this. Robbie's going as well, so I'm very excited for them. Also, we want to talk much NBA in this pod. Obviously, it was a rival lifetime this past summer. Pacers that ended like the Titanic, just in pure tragedy. But I'm excited.
I'd rather be on Titanic.
I'm excited to be back to watch them, cheer them on, and boo the Thunder. And again, I'm going Friday to Kentucky, Purdue, and shout out the Colts, 6-1. They're awesome.
Gosh, they're good.
And very, very quick, so you talk about NBA. We watched last night. I know they lost it double overtime. Sports fans, Houston Rockets are going to be very fun this year.
So fun.
Tough loss last night, but to the Thunder by 1 in double overtime, but going to be very fun if you ever want to just catch an NBA game.
Yep. Absolutely. I think that's all for today. Anyone else got anything before I wrap it up and we'll play us off? We all good?
You know what?
Play us off, Jake. You ever watch the Oscars? Okay.
I'm just glad to know you're going to wrap it up.
Okay,
If Jake wants to move the screen, we can show one more picture. That's me draining a 3 against Hamilton Heights.
Why aren't we showing my picture of Matt Painter? He signed that picture for me.
Okay, now it's time to log off.
Yes, thank you everyone for listening to
Purdue, 5 losses this year. Confirmed.
Thank you everyone listening to Season 3, Episode 2 of the D1 podcast. Again, it's preseason for all of us. We have our preview coming soon and an interview with Glizzy without the L's. So looking forward to that. And the quote Robbie Donahoe from this episode, age does not matter. We'll see you next time.
Good finish.